Hey guys, JHub here bringing you a MOAB gameplay on the map Interchange, and this is probably one of my special MOABs considering the fact it was my first assault MOAB that I have gotten in Modern Warfare 3, and the setup I was using was an M4A1 with red dot and silencer. My secondary was an MP9. 3 starting perks, and the only perks I'll be using considering this is an assault MOAB is Scavenger Pro, Assassin Pro, and Stalker Pro. And the kill streaks I was using in this game was the attack helicopter, the AH-6 Overwatch, and the Pavlo. So lately I've been getting a lot of comments and a lot of messages sent to me asking me to make a video on how you can get a MOAB, some tips to get a MOAB, and I thought this would be the perfect time to do this over this gameplay considering the fact there's a lot of key things in this gameplay that can help you achieve getting a MOAB, being the strategies I'm using right here, when to be defensive, when to take cover, and how to play the map to your advantage. That way you can achieve getting a MOAB. So I've seen a lot of videos lately of different commentators trying to tell you how you can get a MOAB in Modern Warfare 3, whether it be by telling you a specific setup to use on a certain map in a certain game mode, and I'm telling you right now, that is not how it works. If you want to go about trying to do what they do, try to copy their exact tactics, it's more likely not going to work for you because that is how they play the game, and the way I see it, going around trying to copy other people's play style is not the way you want to go about doing this. So the first thing you want to do when you know you're about to go for a MOAB is find the right gun. Now what I suggest to you is go look at your stats, go into the barracks, find the gun that you use the most, the gun you like the most, and the gun you know that you're very good with. Start off with that, and then you move into the attachments on that gun. Personally, I would suggest a silencer. That's basically, I think, the only thing to suggest to it. Other than that, you can run red dot, you can run extended mag. Sometimes I switch off with both. But in this gameplay, you can see that I chose to go with red dot over extended mag because on the M4A1, I'm not a big fan of the iron sights and the way they jump around when you're running attachments on it. So I decided to go with the red dot and silencer. That way I can stay under the radar and that they can't come straight to me to kill me immediately. Because I am going for an assault MOAB, so it's a lot more difficult than going for a MOAB, say, with specialists. Once you have your primary gun and attachments chosen, what you want to move on is to your secondary. Now the secondary I prefer to use the most is the MP9 Silence, due to the fact of it's like a submachine gun, but it's very accurate and has very low recoil, which I find very helpful because you're going to get into situations where your primaries run out, you need to switch to your secondary, and having an MP9 or say a Scorpion as a backup that's automatic and has a decent rate of fire will save you in a lot of instances. So I would suggest to run with machine pistols, but if you want a quicker weapon to switch to, go with a handgun. I know the Magnum's very good, or the P99 has a high rate of fire. You might want to run with that, but I prefer to run machine pistols because I find that it saves me a whole lot more than, say, running a handgun would. Now, moving on to the equipment you're going to use. What I suggest to run with, even though you might not like doing this, is I would run portable radar. It's basically a portable UAV. You can run around, throw it wherever you want to, and it'll light up people on your mini-map when you don't have a UAV in the air, which comes in handy so many times. I find it very useful. But if you want to do something different, you can run flash grenades, and once you get into specialist and have recon unlocked, you can use the flash grenades to paint people, say if they're hiding around corners or they're in a place that you can't get to. Throw the flash grenade over their head and it will light them up, and your team will go and attack them, which is very good when you equip that with Hardline Pro, because when your teammates go and hunt down the people you have lit up with recon, it will give you that assist. And I have had many different times where I have been able to get a MOAB because of Recon Pro and Hardline Pro. While we are on the topic of perks, what I want to suggest to you is try to get all the perks pro, especially if you're using the specialist package. What happens is, if you have all the perks pro, you kick in a specialist, you are really kind of in an overpowered state. Yeah, you can be killed by stray shots, sniper who's quick scoping, and all the other BS in the game, but having all those perks pro will save you a lot. Sit-Rep Pro, Dead Silence Pro, Recon Pro, Hardline Pro are some of the most underrated pro perks that people seem to forget about. So what you want to do is try to get all your perks pro, and then when you kick in a specialist, you're at an advantage. Also, something you want to be aware of when going for a MOAB and using specific weapons is the perk layout you have for that weapon. With like machine guns, I would suggest running something with Stalker Pro on it. That way when you're aiming down sights, you can move faster. With assault rifles, I would suggest the standard, either Scavenger, Sleight of Hand, Quick Draw, and Dead Silence. That way it'll keep you quiet and moving around the map. Submachine guns are a different thing altogether. The 3 starting perks I would suggest for something like that is Extreme Conditioning, Assassin, and Steady Aim. It allows you to move around the map fairly fast, it keeps you under the radar, and Steady Aim allows you to aim down sight a whole lot faster. So with every different weapon setup, there will be a perk setup that you want to run with. Now, it's different from person to person, by which I mean some people might prefer Marksman on their assault rifle class, while others prefer Stalker. I prefer Dead Silence just because I like to stay quiet while using an assault rifle, But with every class, I think there is a different setup perk-wise for it. Even in Specialist, there is a different setup. If you're using Scavenger on an Assault Rifle, I would have one of the first thing in Specialist as Sleight of Hand. If I have Assassin, like on my Extreme Conditioning class with submachine guns as my first perk, somewhere in there I would love to have Quick Draw that eventually I would be aiming down sights faster. So it's different from class to class, and what you need to do is find where you're comfortable, which 3 starting perks are perfect for you, the ones you really like to have. You also got to be aware of ammo in this. That's why I really suggest either starting with Scavenger or having Scavenger in one of your first slots in the Specialist, because ammo is going to be one of the big things that affects you when going for a MOAB. If you run out of ammo, sometimes you're SOL. Sometimes there is not a gun near you on the ground that you can pick up. That way you can continue your streak. So you really need to be wary of your ammo at all times. And the reason I'm talking in the form of Specialist the whole time is because when I suggest you go for a MOAB, Specialist is what's going to make it a whole lot easier than, say, an Assault or Support MOAB. I have almost all my MOABs with Specialists. There's a couple where I don't use kill streaks at all, and then there's 2 or 3 that I've gotten with the Assault setup. So really pay attention to the Specialist package. Now moving on, the game type you want to be playing. Which game type do you play the most? What are you best at? I would not suggest going to something like Sabotage or Search and Destroy, maybe Capture the Flag, but if you're good at those things and you know where the spawns are and you don't die much, that might be the game mode for you. For me, it's Kill Confirmed. I know how to use the tags as bait. I know how to control the spawns. It's because I play this game mode the most. I know a lot about it. But what I suggest, if you don't know the spawns in this game for your game type, go into a game with a full party, all of them put on UAVs, and as long as you are constantly throwing UAVs up, eventually you will learn the spawns of the map, because you will always be looking at your minimap. You'll see where the red dots appear, where your teammates are at that time, and it'll help you understand the maps a whole lot easier. Also in those maps, try to find the good lines of sight that will help you achieve getting this MOAB. Places that you can, head glitch, or that you can take cover behind when the enemy is shooting at you. Places that you know that they can't be shot through, and that if you're running out of health you can get behind and recover. These will save you a lot, as you can see throughout this entire gameplay. I've taken cover underneath bridges when stealth bombers come in, helicopters come in, I instantly get to cover so I won't die while I'm on my streak. So I hope these tips help y'all. I might come out with another video that has even more tips, more tricks that will help you achieve getting that MOAB. But until then, I hope y'all guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Other than that, peace out.